Action Aid Nigeria and Center for Social Justice have expressed profound concerns over the federal government's proposed 500 billion naira palliative distribution. Speaking at a collaborative meeting, Eze Onyekbere, the executive director of Social Justice, expressed worry on how the money will be digitally transferred to the targeted household, considering that millions of extremely poor individuals in Nigeria do not have bank accounts, mobile wallet, or easy access to banking service. A Nigeria Senate has called on the Ministry's Work and Housing, Environment as well as Ecological Fund Office to urgently tackle the menace of erosion devastating major roads across the country. The upper legislative chamber also wants the Federal Roads Maintenance Agency, FEMA, to join in the detection and prevention of erosion menace on the highways. Kikelemo Okere completes the story.
This resolution will reach on Tuesday plenary after a debate with separate motion stating the urgent need to control the erosion ravaging Onitsha-Oba section of Onitsha-Owerri Federal Highway in Anambra by Senator Victor Ume, and the immediate need for erosion control in Edo Central as well as Ondo South Senatorial District to save lives and property by Senator Okpewolu Monday and Jimoh Ibrahim respectively. In his motion, Senator Ume noted with dismay the devastating effect of ravaging gully erosion and landslides on the road in the country, especially in Anambra State.
The Senate equally notes that the magnitude of the menace is beyond the control of the state government. Accordingly, the Senate resolves to urge the federal government to direct the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing to commence immediate repairs and reconstruction of the affected parts of the Onitsha-Owerri Federal Roads, and particularly the sections between Opiweka roundabout in Onitsha and Oba in the Demle South local government area of Anambra State, which spans about 6 kilometers. The Senate also urges the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing to ensure regular surveillance of federal highways to identify and nip erosion threats to federal routes in the belt.
On their part, other senators noted that the peculiar nature of topography in Edo and Ondo State has put many communities under the constant threat, resulting in massive flooding on the roads.
Also worried that ongoing highway routes projects in Edo Central face the risk of being damaged even before they are completed, as a result of which the community may just be losing the government may just be losing hundreds of millions of naira because of the natural disaster.
That the World Bank is actually getting involved now in designing that the community cannot go into extinction. It cannot be wiped over by the sea completely. And I say this worried that the Ayetoro is at the verge of being completely lost to the sea if nothing is done urgently.
After the debate on the motion, which were widely supported by lawmakers, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, therefore directed the Committee on Environment, Ecology, Works and Special Duties, when constituted, to urge all ministries to come up with lasting work plans to arrest the devastating effects of flooding in the country.
It's taking care of all your fears, that they should have a holistic approach to take inventory of all the areas of gully erosions and other forms of erosion across the country. But I think we also have a duty, when our committees are in place, these things must be, we must undertake serious oversight, and state by state, by the various committees on environment and ecological office, on ecological issues and all that.
Kikelemo Okere, Global Television News.
The Nigeria Ethnic Nationalities Youth Leader Council has expressed their concern over President Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led federal government intended full subsidy palliative to 12 million households. The youth group assured their continuity to support government's good policy, while also disagreeing with the government on policies that do not have direct bearing on the well-being of the masses. Michael Edigan asked the report.
Addressing journalists in Abuja, President General Niger Delta Ethnic Nationalities Youth Leaders Council, Comrade Terry Obier, called on the federal government to consider an upward review of the 8,000 amount meant for the subsidy, which will not cushion the hardships of the targeted poor Nigerians. He further urged the federal government to increase the amount to 50,000 naira, which on average can provide for the basic needs of households under the current economic situation.
Whereas we support the government completely on subsidy removal, we advise that it should be handled with utmost caution. We support the government because the nation cannot continue to subsidize fraud. It is unfortunate that the outgoing administration laid such a landmine, but with rightful mindset and focused leadership, we are certain that the present government will negotiate over it.
The group leaders applauded the government completely on subsidy removal, while advising that it should be handled with utmost caution, also suggesting that the government should set up a broad-based investigative committee to look into the subsidy fraud over the years.
It is our firm position that the federal government must consider an upward review of the 8,000 amount meant for the subsidy, which will not caution the hardship of the targeted poor Nigerians. We call on the federal government to increase the amount to 50,000, which is an average can provide for the basic need for household under the current economic situation. The government has now allowed the marketers to determine price of the pump price. As of today, the fuel pump price is 6.17 per litre. If the federal government will not take necessary steps to alleviate the harsh condition of the suffering masses, we may be forced to mobilize ethnic nationality youths in Nigeria to make the federal government to do the necessary.
He further urged government to give incentive licenses to individuals and corporate organizations who may wish to build refineries. Edikan Michael, Global TV News.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited in the early hours of Tuesday raised the pump price of petrol from 537 naira per litre, which was the price when fuel subsidy was removed by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on May 29 this year, to 617 naira per litre. The development took many Nigerians unaware, considering the fact that many of them are still grumbling with the recent fuel price increase when the subsidy was removed by the president. Many motorists have visited the fuel station on Tuesday with the hope of buying at the old price of 537 naira per litre, were surprised to meet a new pump price. Michael Edikan, who visited the fuel station in the Federal Capital Territory, now brings us the details.
The price of petrol has increased from 537 naira to 617 naira today. This has been confirmed by the independent oil marketers. We are on the streets of Abuja to react, of course, to sample reactions of Nigerians in this very high price.
Disheartening, because this thing, even at rate of that 537, there is a lot of hardship. This one has created a lot of, in fact, I don't even know. Many people, in fact, as I'm talking to you now, I wanted to get a fuel now. I'm going to buy the fuel of 30. I don't know how many times it's going to give me.
Not finding it so easy, even from the initial price. When government want to look at something, increments of fuel prices, we should look at the masses. They have not put some things in order to make it so convenient for the individuals. Now, in the increase of fuel price now, many people will not be able to go to work. Look at me, I have been queued here now. All of a sudden, I just find out that the price have increased to 617.
Nigeria is very, very amazing. It's very surprising. It's an indication that the country is heading towards, what do I call it, economic destruction.
This government, we don't know how this government will carry poor man go. Because of, if you check everything now, everything don't cost for market. It's not only fuel. And if you check now, we think whether Jagaba would do in poor people well. But now, Jagaba, you don't know poor people. Now, actually now, fuel, when they lack, let them carry the fuel, go 1,000 naira. We will see there.
Nigerians further lament over the increase in the fuel price as it affects transportation and other amenities, calling on the federal government to make a provision to cushion the hardship.
The message to government is that government should do something about this fuel subsidy removal. We're expecting maybe the price will still come down. Now it's even rising up again. But the only mistake I see the government have ever done is that before you remove a subsidy, you have to make a provision to caution the hardship before.
The government is trying to look for a way to reduce this fuel prices. We are not finding it so easy. Please, we are pleading for the government.
They take go farm, because without fuel, yes, everything is hard. Even maize now, 1 mudu is 700 naira. How do we take chop? Before it was how much? Before it's 200.
That President Bola Ahmed Tinubu during his inaugural address had announced that fuel subsidy is gone. This has given birth to the high increase of fuel prices from 195 till today 617 naira. Nigerians are not happy and they are calling on government to look into the matter as it affects even food, transportation and other affairs of life. Edika Michael, Global TV reporting.
In view of the current security challenges in the country, the Nigerian Army says the combat readiness of soldier and other security agency must be top-notch at all times. The General Officer Commander 2 Division of Nigeria Army handed down this instruction during the division's inter-brigade combat competition at Sabi Cantonment, Ilori. Kikelomo completes the story.
The inter-brigade competition is organized for warrant officers and senior non-commissioned officers in the 5 military formation under the 2 Division of the Nigerian Army. The participating brigades are from Edo, Ondo, Oyo, and Kwara states. Addressing the participants, the General Officer Commanding 2 Division of the Nigerian Army, Major General Valentine Okoro, says the competition is to sharpen their combat readiness. The GOC was represented by Commander 22 Armored Brigade, Sabi Cantonment, Ilorin, Brigadier General Adebayo Babalola.
The aim of it is to test our warrant officers and senior non-commissioned officers on their combat readiness. They are the link between the officers and the other soldiers.
It says Nigeria rely on the army and other security operatives to tackle security challenges in the country, calling on the participants to be combat ready.
Gentlemen, you know that we have various security challenges all across the country, and the whole citizens of Nigeria rely solely on the Nigerian Army, the armed forces, and other security agencies. Therefore, our combat readiness at all times must be top priority.
The 4-day competition is expected to end on Thursday. The participants competing in drilling, combat swimming, obstacle crossing, and range classification. Kikelomo Okeri, Global Television News.
The People's Democratic Party has accused lawyers holding briefs for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the All Progressive Congress at the Presidential Election Petition Court of engaging in act aimed at intimidating the judiciary. This is as the main opposition party claims that the alleged threats are contained in the lawyers' written addresses before the Election Petition Tribunal. In a press release issued on Monday by Debo Ologunagba, National Publicity Secretary of the PDP, the party noted that the statement by the lawyers in said written address threatening crisis and anarchy in the country in the event of the court ruling that their client did not meet the constitutional required 25% votes in the Federal Capital Territory in subversive, an affront to democratic order and assault on the corporate existence of the nation. While questioning the rationale by the ruling party for making public the said written addresses, the PDP also implored Nigerians to remain calm, alert, and hopeful in the ability of the judiciary to dispense justice accordingly. This is the News Prime on Global TV, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We'd like you to remain where you are. On Star Times, we're on channel 276 and urge you to follow us across our social media platforms at Global TV NG. And when the News Prime returns, NNPCL Group Chief Executive Officer says market forces driving up petrol prices. These and more stories coming right after this short break. Welcome back. Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mele Kyari, has blamed market forces for the increase in petrol pump price from 540 naira to 617 naira per litre. Speaking with the State House correspondent after a private meeting with the Vice President Kashim Shettima at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, the NNPCL chief explained that the increase is not based on a short supply of petrol. On the foreign scene, Donald Trump has said he expects to be arrested by federal inquiry into the U.S. Capitol riots and efforts to challenge the 2020 election result. The ex-president said in a social media post he had been informed by Special Counsel Jack Smith on Sunday night that he was a target of the investigation. Mr. Trump posted that he was told to report to a grand jury, which he noted almost always means an arrest and indictment. Such an indictment would be Trump's third for alleged criminal offenses, including 37 counts brought by Mr. Smith's team. In June, accusing the president of mishandling classified documents, Trump has also been charged in New York City with falsifying business record in 2016, hush money payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels. Is due to stand trial in that case next March. And that's on the news on Global TV. We are on StarTime channel 276. Kindly follow us across our social media platform at Global TV NG. And on behalf of the production team, I am Judith Peters. Thank you so very much for watching. I'll see you with more stories on News Cycles.